Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Manifest Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am doing a reading on messages from the North Wind. What messages is the North Wind blowing in to us? The North Wind is blowing here, and yes, what is it saying? So to do that, I'm going to pick 3 piles from this Oracle deck. All right, let's wake up this deck. It feels like I want to show you the one on the bottom. This is Magnetism of Eros. This is the first card, card number 1. Just wanted to show you. Let's ask it for 3 piles. We need 3 cards for 3 piles today. We need 3 cards. We would like one more card here. We would like one more card for pile number 3. Actually, seems like this one really wants to come out. They are reluctant to come out. All right, here's our 3 cards. And the card for pile number 1. Oh, had to put some tape on this one. This is card number 1's Oracle card. This is card number 19, Solve Polluti. I don't know what that is, but this is such a gorgeous illustration as usual. This is pile number 2's card, Theta of Venus. This is card number 25. Very restful, peaceful card. And this is for card, this card is for pile number 3. Ooh, number 15, Spirit Bear of 396 hertz. The bear, even the bear looks peaceful. All right, give me a moment and I will get some crystals for those of you who like to pick with crystals. Hi, I'm back with some crystals. So for pile number 1, you have this Tiger's Eye hexagonal point. For pile number 2, this is the Rose Quartz hexagonal point. They all have such depth in this. Especially this cut is just so beautiful. And pile number 3, yours is this green aventurine hexagonal point. I love this little faint line right here. So pretty. It looks luminous. It's such a, in person, it's just, it looks like it's glowing, that line. All right. So you can take your time and pick with whatever the imagery, the phrase, the number of the card, the number of the pile, the crystal, some combination, whatever feels like you want to explore it. That is probably your pile, and you can always pick more than one. So I will leave the timestamps below and see you in your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is your card that you chose, number 19, Solve Polluti. This is a Latin phrase which means to clear out toxins and contaminants for a conscious manifester, I'm going to interpret this as clearing out, clearing out your negative thoughts, maintaining a wonderful mental diet. And the being that a good mental diet benefits, of course, is you yourself. That's the person, the person that a good mental diet benefits the most is the person maintaining the good mental diet. Very interesting card. So I'm going to put that here and I'm going to put this crystal up here. Here you go. And I am going to take a couple of these tea leaves. Well, this one wants to come out. This one wants to come out. I'll take 3 from this one. Or no, I'll take 2. And this one, month of the year. All right, I'm very curious. Let's see. Tiger. Doing something risky and taking a chance. I wonder if that would mean doing something that other people think is risky or doing things that even you, pile number 1, think is risky. Good question. Grasshopper. Situations in the balance that require careful handling. Months of the year. Which month is this? September. Look at all this foliage. The world is being green. Actually, I'm going to put this here and put these here like this. Okay. And I have 3 decks I'm going to use. This is the first deck, and we're going to ask it. We want to get some messages for pile number 1 from the North Wind. What messages does the North Wind want to... Oops! I don't know why I was just revealing that. Want to bring to pile number 1. I'm so excited to read these cards for you. All right, one more. Here's this one. I'm still chuckling over I was just really wanting to show you the cards. This is the second Oracle deck. Let's wake it up and say, what would you like to show pile number 1? Messages from the North Wind. And then there's this one. I am going to... I wanted to make sure I had the deck the right way up. So let's wake it up and give it some shuffling. Whoa. Whoop. Wow, look at this. It came jumping right out like it was being blown out. Here we go. So pile number 1, what's our first card here? This is the one I was so eager to show you that I was gonna turn it over. The 3 of Swords. Look at these 3 birds having an argument. What else do we have? The Strength card. And we have the 6 of Swords. Look at these birds. It's funny, look. Look at these 2 cards. These 2 cards each have a group of birds with their beaks open, but look at the difference in tone. This one, they're all celebrating, throwing their hats in the air, graduating, having a celebration, public display of excitement. And in this one, they have their beaks open, but they're all screaming at each other, blaming each other. Very, very interesting. And they're separated by this lion who's just totally having the best day, reading and lounging. He's probably got some sort of snacks over on the other side that we can't see. All right, so this is your next card, the Empress. And we have the Ace of Cups. What a beautiful card. So I'm going to show you the whole one to, you know, just this entire card, but then look here. She has a shadow self. Very interesting. I wonder, I'm going to put that here for now. This is the 3rd card here, the Fates. This is the Wheel of Fortune. You know what it looks like? It looks like apple peels. You know how when you peel an apple, the entire apple in one long peel, this is exactly what it looks like. Let's see what the interior looks like. There's words on it. The 3 Fates, it is, see, she's got scissors, so she's the one who cuts the string. So they're 3, I believe, well, anyway, it's 3, they're 3 relatives. Why am I think they're 3 sisters, but they might be, like, you know, a woman, a daughter of the woman, and a grandchild. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but the point is, one weaves the thread of your life, one measures, and then one cuts. So she's the one that cuts. Anyway, very, very interesting cards. And then what do we have here? The World card. Wow. I'll show you this whole card, and then I'll show you the details. So pretty. And isn't this very apropos for messages from the North Wind? We have a snow globe. This is our next to last card here. We have the Devil. And then we have the Hermit. I was wondering why I was keeping this space here. This is for the Hermit. The Hermit wants to be off on the side, away from the other cards. The first thing that's jumping out at me is, which is so funny, is we have this hermit. We have this hermit card. This strength card character looks more like a hermit than this hermit character, because the hermit is ostensibly not alone. She has her little candy house with her, and she also has a companion. But obviously, when you look at it more, maybe this is the hermit, and this is the smaller, like, shadow self, maybe. Or maybe this is the hermit and this giant figure is the shadow self, that the hermit perceives this other part of herself is more large and more powerful. I have so much to say about this, but it's interesting that this strength card looks more like a hermit than the hermit. So they're linked. Basically what I'm saying is that they're linked in some way, and pile number 1, this is a real contemplation time. This is a time for you to really look within. The north wind is blowing into you some cold weather. If you are in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be literal cold, colder than normal. But if you're in the southern hemisphere, or if you're near the equator, whatever, it's going to be figurative. But the point is, it's blowing in also a time for you to go within. This is a time for you to go within. Even the strength card is looking like a hermit. You're really going within and looking. This could be you and yourself, like you and what you perceive as your other half, or it could be you as opposed to what you see as the 3D world. You are either this person and see this other thing as less powerful than you, or you're this person and you see this other as way more powerful. So that's really interesting. But the whole point of this is to tell you to look at her hair. It looks like she's been blowing in the wind. But it's telling you that you have to go within. Going within is really the theme of this reading. And we have this tiger and grasshopper. You know that saying about, young grasshopper? The grasshopper is a student, and who is more taking charge and taking command than the tiger? So there's this tiger and a grasshopper. The grasshopper is supplicating the tiger to, please show me. It's hopping over and saying, please show me something that I don't, oops. Please show me something I don't know. And the tiger's saying, okay, but you have to keep up with me, because I'm terrorizing everyone by being a tiger, and you've got to keep up with me or you can't hang out with me. And so the grasshopper is the tiger's student right now. So the grasshopper might not believe in the tiger's methods, the tiger's lifestyle, the tiger's modus operandi. It is clear to everyone that knows about grasshoppers and tigers that their lifestyles are not compatible. But for right now, for this particular instance, the grasshopper does need to emulate the tiger. You have to do something that is feeling very foreign to you. And what does that mean? if you're a conscious manifester, does that mean that you have to could mean lots of things. It could mean that you are needing to try something different. And there's been a theme here over the past couple readings that for some of you, it's actually you're trying too hard. You're like, gotta get up, I gotta do an hour of affirmations, and then I've got to do some scripting at lunchtime, and I've got to do my visualizing 3 times a day, and I've got to just making it seem so oppressive. And right, if that's what's become natural to you, but it's not natural in the way that it's feeling good. If you're like, I love getting up and doing an hour of affirmations, I love doing my scripting at lunch, I love doing visualizing 3 times a day. If that's what you love, then that's great. I'm saying if it's feeling like that is not natural, but like you have to do it instead of natural. What am I like that you think it should be natural? That's what I'm actually trying to say. If you're feeling like it should be natural to me to do all this work to manifest, it should be, but I don't feel like it, but I'm going to continue forcing myself to do all this because it should feel natural to me, then you are being called on to be the grasshopper that's emulating the tiger. You are this little dweller in the grasses going around scraping one leg against the other. Is that crickets or grasshoppers or both? I don't know. They're very they seem very, very solitary too. I mean, you don't necessarily see a whole group of grasshoppers hanging out together having fun. And so's the tiger. I mean, I think that tigers are more solitary, but anyway, a grasshopper wouldn't naturally be seeking out the tiger, but in this case you have to do something different. If you're in the place where, oh my gosh, I am just just every waking moment I'm obsessed with conscious manifesting in a way that is I'm trying to force everything, and I'm just trying to force the 3D through the power of my mind. My mind is just and maybe this is you inside. Like all of your, what if you have 3 desires? Say that you are manifesting for money, career, and love, for instance. It's a popular triad, right? What if this is all 3 of your desires in your head and you are just, they're screaming at each other, screaming at you, just doing anything they can to get your attention. And here you are just exhausted. Like this hermit character, she looks kind of tired. She's holding a candle to see, but her eyes are closed, which is funny. She's holding a candle so she can see, yet her eyes are closed, and she looks like she can barely stand up. Her shell is so heavy. Okay, I grew up in a very, 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 very cold place. And it's far to the north, and lots of snow, lots of, months of snow, months of just the weather was so cold and the days were so short. And September was already, we were well into fall. There was no, September being nice and warm and an extension of summer. By the end of August, we were already, it was already almost fall. It was already fall weather. September was really the beginning of fall, colder. There was no balminess in September. It was always, the leaves started dropping. It was cold. It was starting to get rainy, and just the days were getting a lot shorter. You could really already notice that the days were getting shorter. This card, it looks like still lots of green and an extension of summer and everybody's happy and whatever. So I'm telling you my experience. I'm not sure what your experience is. And anyway, September in the northern hemisphere obviously is different than the southern. You would be more spring if you're in the southern hemisphere, but this card could be the actual literal month of September, and I'm recording this in January, so if you're watching it at a different time, it could be so this is the 9th month, so it could be 8 months from today. It could be in the fall, or late summer, wherever you are, wherever late summer falls for you. So that's interesting. But Sept, this used to be the 7th month, and I'm almost positive. I'm gonna look that up. Wait, I'm gonna look it up so that I can tell you, but I almost positive that this name is 7 in Latin, so I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, so it really was the 7th. It used to be the 7th month. So it could be 7 months from now. It could be the 7th month, obviously, which is July. So I just wanted to let you know about that while I was thinking about it. So let's get back to this feeling of, well, actually, there's 2 other cards that I'm seeing that are really highlighting this kind of taking stock of where you're at mentally. Okay, sorry, my neighbor was using some power lawn equipment, so anyway, this is a hugely powerful combination here, the world and the devil. And I just have to say, for many of you, this devil energy this is just showing that you are the only one restricting yourself from accessing the world. You are the one overshadowing your dream world with your doubts and your fears. And if you looks simple, doesn't it? Just overshadowing. I don't want to simplify this. But look at her. She's kind of worried right now and looking at the edge of this tiny little world. Doesn't look very happy. The world card is this triumphant world card. It's the ultimate card. It's the final card in the tarot deck. It's everything. Every lesson has been learned. Goal has been accomplished. It is everything. But here, this is a very she looks wan, she looks trapped. It's so interesting. This is the not quite the antithesis of what the world card itself is, but I also find it interesting that it's winter, so the north wind is blowing us this message. This is the most powerful message. Pile number 1, what is it in your life that you are doubting? Is it just that you're like, is conscious manifesting a thing? Yes, it is. Am I doing enough? Am I doing it right? I mean, it's your belief in your persistence. But everybody has their own way to get into the state of the wish fulfilled. Every person has their own way. Some people swear by affirming. That is their thing. They love to affirm. They affirm all the time. And that is just the way they get things done. I personally like visualizing. It's come natural to me. I have visualized what I want. When I was a child, I was visualizing what I wanted, just with zero instruction, zero knowing, zero knowing about conscious manifesting. I was just naturally doing it, and that is the way I like to do it. But trying to do all of these techniques because you're doubting might be one way that you're, overshadowing your world. This world is the state of the wish fulfilled and the actual 3D wish fulfilled. The devil is your doubts, your fears, or something else, something that's blocking you. It could be your doubts that you are worthy or something like that, like, your self-concept, basically. Your self-concept could be blocking you, and self-concept is great, great to have, but somebody might, it's not all self-concept. It might not be self-concept for you. You might be putting a lot of pressure on yourself and then not being able to live up to your own standards, even though you're the only one that has such high standards. It could be a lot of things, but I want to explore more. We'll probably come back to this. I was reminded about a Neville Goddard lecture while I was waiting for my neighbor to stop with the lawn equipment, and he said something about a grasshopper. He was, he's saying that, we as humans, not, a human will think of themselves as a little grasshopper, just some little meek little creature. And his lecture is basically saying, that part of the lecture is basically saying, instead of being the grasshopper, be the tiger. You are the powerful one. You're the one holding all the power. You, pile number 1, are the one holding all the power. And don't forget, you have this strength card. This lion is totally at peace. You have a lion and a tiger. That's very powerful. You have a lion and a tiger, and you have these angry birds. A goose angry is no joke. I don't know if you've ever seen an angry goose. And I'm sure an angry ostrich is also no joke. And owls are very deadly hunters. You get lots of powerful animals here. So what else do we have? We have this 6 of Swords, the Empress, the Ace of Cups. Oh, we also, I didn't even get into this. Why did I not read this? And these all came up at the same time. So we already talked about the world and the devil combo, but we have the Wheel of Fortune, the world, and the devil. We don't have to just concentrate on these two. We have the world. You have a lot of major arcana. I didn't even mention that, but these came up 1, 2, 3 here. So you have the Wheel of Fortune, the world, and the devil. So the Wheel of Fortune and the world, we did the Wheel of Fortune, we did the world and the devil. The Wheel of Fortune and the world together are really powerful, like especially if you, pile number 1, think, I, pile number 1, have been, my life has not been going well, whatever kind of thing you're telling yourself or, experiencing, there's change, there's big change coming for you. One way or the other, things are going to change for you one way or the other. That, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing, whatever you're experiencing, things are going to change. And I don't know if you saw, she has basically the moon. It looks like she has the moon coming down to land in her crown. Very pretty. Anyway. There's, look, so you start out with strength, then you came with the Empress, and then the Wheel of Fortune, the world, the devil, and the Hermit. And I'm still standing by this combo. I kind of forgot to say before I was going to say it right before I had to break for my neighbor's lawn equipment. This is like saying, take stock of yourself. And if you are in a position where you have been consciously manifesting for something and you haven't seen any movement, take stock of what is going on, your internal landscape. Take stock of your internal landscape. Are you being the grasshopper or the tiger? And you are being shown that you can look within, go within, and regroup. You don't have to just be like, oh, if I don't continue with this particular, affirming 10,000 times a day forever. I'm not knocking affirming. Tons of people like affirming, but if it's making you feel good and powerful, like the tiger, to affirm 10,000 times a day, that's awesome. That's your thing. If it makes you feel like a grasshopper, like, oh, I have to do this, or it's not gonna then maybe affirming's not for you. Going within and going within and re-evaluating, and what better time to go within than the winter, than what the north wind is blowing in, which is hermit time, which is hibernation time. Did you know that bears don't even really go into hibernation? They go into, I think the word is torpor. They go into like a sleepy state. They don't truly go into hibernation. So there you go. You might be a bear having some torpor. So we have these very lovely cards here. The Ace of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Empress. The Empress, I feel like this is what you're going to come out of your winter of reevaluation as. So these 3 cards together, these are what you're going to come out from your reevaluation as. Is new beginning, obviously. Ace of Cups. There's so many details. Do you see this bird on the cup, perched on the rim? There's little sparkly things coming out of the cup. This dancer has a shadow self here. she's also dancing, floating over this water, and there's this reflection, and there is foliage here and other little stars floating around her. There's some sort of magical new beginning, not just a new beginning, you're not just a new beginning. You're going to come out of this hibernation or torpor or whatever you are going to go through. You're going to come out with a bunch of energy and new feeling. So we have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is public. Look at this, like, just so, everybody's so happy and so, yeah. They've put in so much effort. You know, they're graduating. They're graduating from something. Years and years and years of work. And now it's over. It's not only, they haven't just finished, but they've gotten their public recognition. They are so happy. And even the public recognition is over. So now they don't have anything to do except to go on with the rest of their life. And that's what you are going to come out of this hibernation as. The person that's able to come out of, you know, emerge from your hibernation as exactly what you want. But this is the whole thing, pile number one. You don't have to be like, oh no, I've got to redo my, you know, I've been doing everything wrong and I need to redo. No, you just have to find what makes you feel like the tiger and not the grasshopper. Everybody gives manifestation advice, and everybody, that's great. Everybody has their own way that they like to manifest, and that's great. People give advice on how other people should manifest. That's great if you find somebody who you resonate with. That's great. But if you're like, oh, I like this person's personality and I like listening to them, they make me feel motivated, but then you go and try to do their techniques that they say, do this, and you don't feel good doing it, you don't see results doing it, you feel beaten down doing it, whatever, that's not great. So going within and listening to yourself and coming out, emerging out of your hibernation, your hibernation, and just having this new beginning and being able to celebrate everything, your emergence is where you're at. And this is your end game. I would usually, in almost any other reading, I would say the world is your end game because that's the world. But for you, pile number one, this is your end game. You're going to come out just completely covered in roses and butterflies. You are going to be feeling even more powerful than a tiger. You are going to be completely fulfilled because you will be listening to yourself. You are your key, pile number one. And the card that you chose, it's like you are purifying your thoughts, but you're purifying yourself. You are listening to yourself first, which is awesome. So this is what I see for you. These are the messages that the north wind blew in. The north wind is blowing in enough cold air to scrub clean what you don't want, blow it out, and leave almost a vacuum for you to bring in what you do want, only what you do want. And you have this Wheel of Fortune. If what goes down must come up. what a favorable reading. Thank you so much for joining me for this gorgeous reading, and I appreciate you watching, commenting, sharing, subscribing, liking the video. It's all great, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose this gorgeous card, Theta of Venus. This is card number 25. A goddess of love. And let's put this crystal. Oh, and you chose this rose quartz hexagonal point. So we're going to take some of these tea leaves. Oops, this one really wanted to be seen here. I'm going to take this one. Whoa, and this one. And we will take one from this side. Whoa, whoa. Here we go. All right. Rabbit, one of my favorite animals ever. This is too much concern with sexual matters, but you know, a rabbit is one of my 2 favorite animals. So I'm going to probably interpret this card differently than a negative connotation. All right, this is the second one. Target, woo! You've hit some sort of goal, or you're just about to. Pile number 2, what great news. Happiness, There's this circle like the target. Wow. I'm gonna put that here right underneath. Oh, you know what's funny is that Venus is the god of love, and we have this rabbit, which, you know, a rabbit is symbolizing fertility because, you know, they have so many babies. They're so good at having babies, making little families. So this is our first tarot deck. Let's wake up the deck. This deck seems a little sticky, like the cards like to clump together. Cards like to clump together. So let's see. We are going to ask it for 3 cards for you, pile number 2. What is the north wind blowing in for pile number 2? What's it? Whoa! Wow. We know what card you want. We know what card it wanted to blow in. It blew it right out of the deck. This is our second deck. What does pile number 2 get as messages from the north wind? Here you go. And then this is the third deck. Well, I guess we need this one too, and this one. All right, that was quite easy. They came right out for us. All right, pile number 2. What do we have? First of all, we have the Magician. Magician card is the manifestor card, just straight up manifestation card. So like the manifester. The Magician is the manifester. Here we go. And who doesn't like a mouse in a cloak and a hat? Pointed hat at that. Oh, 6 of Swords. We got the 6 of Swords in pile number 1 as well. Very accomplished. they all accomplished a goal. They all hit their target. All right. Oh yeah, we saw this already. The King of Wands holding a torch. What else? The Four of Cups. Wow, look at this. It's a lot of sewing. I wanted to focus on something specific. It's got a lot of sewing accoutrement in there. Little scissors and measuring tape and a spool of thread. All right, what else do we have? The Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment. You know, and do you see that there's a keyhole in her torso? Listen, though. This one, this is also kind of a wish fulfillment card because look, excuse me. They're graduating. They have been working for years to get a diploma, and they have done all their classes, they've taken all their tests, they've done all their everything, and they have actually, not only have they done everything, but now they have the diplomas in their hands and everything's done, and they've completed their entire goal. That's why they're so happy. So that is kind of a wish fulfillment card. Let's see, Ace of Wands, talk about a keyhole. Got two prominent keyholes. Ace of Wands. Some new beginning. I mean, and it's coming right underneath this Six of Swords. Excuse me. And what's going to happen after this? After you graduate, you have a new beginning. You've got something new and you're beginning. You went to school for this specific thing and now you're going out into the world as that thing. I'm so curious what this is. This is the Hanged Man. All right. That's going right underneath the King of Wands. And we have the Three of Cups, togetherness and joy and happiness and just good times, diving into the ocean, being happy. You have so many cups. Four of Cups, Three of Cups, Nine of Cups. What is this pile number 2? The Nine of Pentacles. Another wish fulfillment. You have two wish fulfillment cards together. Let me just move this up. You have two wish fulfillment cards. Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Target, happiness, magicians. I mean, you have a lot of happiness and reaching your goals here. Pile number 2, very fortuitous and very favorable reading. So I am, there it is. I am really drawn to this combination because this Four of Cups, if you know what the word ennui means, this is the Four of Cups slogan. Ennui. It's just being, nothing's good enough. Nothing is sparking any interest. It's just same old, but not just same old as in, kind of, I know what I'm going to expect today, but I still am enjoying myself and I just love my life. No, it's nothing is good enough. Nothing's good enough. Nothing is sparking any interest, just kind of slogging through the day. Ennui. that word, if you want to look it up, is E-N-N-U, spelled E-N-N-U-I. We have the Hanged Man, hanging there in stasis. So together, these are really kind of saying nothing's good enough. I don't like X, Y, Z, or even just X. It doesn't have to be everything. Just it's like, I don't like this. I'm bored. I'm fed up. I just can't deal. Kind of complaining, kind of, you know, in such a happy reading. These two are standing out to me as, let's put it this way, I'm surprised they're not one right underneath the other. They're very powerful. They're kind of drawing toward together. They're kind of drawing together. They're very attracted to each other. There's some central, I mean, like, there's some concentrated message they're telling us. What is it that's causing you to feel like that? Because everything else, I mean, this Six of Swords could be depressing, but look at this artwork. I mean, this is, you struggled, you sacrificed, and now you have what you wanted. You achieved your goal, and you are so ecstatic, and you're able to run out into the world and say, I just graduated, I have this diploma, I am ready to fill in the blank. I'm so happy, I'm gonna go out and party, my friends and family, and oh my gosh, I'm so happy. That's what this card is saying to us in this reading, especially with this goal-oriented person and this happiness. And it's right next to the Magician. It's like you manifested, there's something that you have just achieved. You have either just achieved it or you're just about to achieve it, and you've sacrificed and you've worked and you've done everything you needed to. You've done, no one can graduate unless they've done all the paperwork, unless they've done all the tests, unless they've done all the papers, unless they've attended all the classes, unless they've, I mean, not every class, you know what I mean, unless they've fulfilled all the requirements. Every single class that has needed to be taken has been taken. They don't just say, no, you took 75% of the classes needed for this diploma, we're just going to let you graduate. No, you need 100%. It's not allowed to take any shortcuts. Everything needs to be finished. Every bill needs to have been paid. Everything has needed to be done, and you have done it. And so my point is, the Six of Swords is happiness. It's like, I fulfilled my goal. I've got this diploma or whatever, you know, fill in the blank. I am so happy. The Six of Swords is inordinately happy. And you have this Ace of Wands, new beginning. You have this Three of Cups, which is, you know, happiness and merriment and being together with friends. Everything's so happy. I haven't even touched on this. 2 wish fulfillment cards. You have the King of Wands, the embodiment of, I mean, I know that I've talked about others together, but this, you know, it's kind of curious. Now that I'm seeing it, it looks like the same wand, doesn't it? Just one's on fire. How interesting. It looks like the same wand, except one is on fire and one is not. So the Magician is like sheer manifestation, kind of combined with hard work. The King of Wands is this embodiment of, I am the person that I have manifested. I am the person that I have always wanted to be. It's the embodiment of the wish fulfilled. This lizard is everything that this lizard has ever wanted to be. That's what this lizard is right now. This lizard is the best version of itself. Look, it's walking on hind legs holding a torch and wearing a robe, cape, something. How much better can life get for a lizard? And it looks like it has opposable thumbs. I mean, seriously. This lizard is living the life. So many favorable cards, and that's why it makes me so curious about this Four of Cups and this Hanged Man. What is it, pile number 2, that you have in your life that's making you feel like you just can't be bothered? Let me look. So what is going on with this? I mean, a rabbit. Do you know this, the saying, I'm the rabbit's foot? It means I'm lucky. I mean, a rabbit's foot, I don't know. It's kind of gruesome. People probably still carry around a rabbit's foot, a rabbit's foot. It's got bone in it. It's like just the rabbit's foot is cut off. Sometimes they dye it a garish color and people carry it around. It's a lucky charm. That's how lucky rabbits are seen as. Rabbits are seen as lucky. They're seen as symbols of fertility. They're seen as, I mean, everybody thinks they're cute. They're just really cute. Really, there's just a lot of symbolism of luck with a rabbit. And then you also have this 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. I mean, look at this. I'm very interested in this. Look at this. She has a keyhole. Looks like she's putting a butterfly in the keyhole or pulling a butterfly out of the keyhole. I don't know what she's doing. But anyway, each cup has its own butterfly except for this last one. So oh wait, no, does this one have one? Is that one sitting on the rim up there? I don't know, but it looks like she's adorning each one with a butterfly and pulling the butterflies out of the keyhole. How random. Anyway. Anyway, and then we have this 9 of Pentacles with this woman, swan woman, and swan, like real swan, and the eyes are the same eyes. Very interesting, very beautiful. I mean, so my point of this is your happiness is not only just, okay, you got your wish fulfilled. It's like beautiful, mystical, gorgeous, magical. You've got this magician, so things are magical for you. Happiness. Oh, I forgot to pull out the happiness card, but that's also part of this. So it's the 4 cards, the 9 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, the rabbit, and this happiness. And I could have even included this target because it's focused on what you want. And the King of Wands, the embodiment of the wish fulfilled. So much going on, and I could have even brought in this 3 of Cups. I mean, I could have brought in almost every single card to make this point of wish fulfilled. But so, okay, so number 1, there is something that you are getting that is exactly what you have been wanting. That's what this is. Pile number 2, have you gotten something that you have been wanting and you find out that you don't want it? Is this what's happening? Have you gotten something? There could be two possibilities. You could have gotten something that you've been wanting, manifesting for, and you now that you have it, you're thinking, oh, I don't even want it anymore. Or you could be changing your mind before you like before you get it and saying, oh, now I don't want it anymore. I can see there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with not wanting something anymore. Once, if you manifested it and you realize, I don't want this anymore, that's okay. But you can manifest your feelings. If you've been manifesting, like I've been wanting, like, as an example, I want to go to Germany, whatever, like I really want to go to Germany. My family's right from whatever, you can insert, any country, but say you want to go to Germany because your family, your ancestors are from Germany and you've always wanted to go and you've been really planning, manifesting for it, and you all of a sudden get to go, but now you don't want to go. Just something like this, like, no, like, oh, I don't feel like traveling right now. I'd rather stay home. Whatever. Now that you have something, are you not feeling like you want it? Well, like what I said a couple seconds ago, pile number 2, you can manifest the feeling that you want. Manifestation is limitless, so you can manifest the feeling of being happy. You can manifest it by just saying, like if you're an affirmations person, you can say, I am so happy to be going to Germany. I'm so happy with the trip. I'm so happy. Whatever feels natural to you, that's like that. And if you are a visualizer, you can just visualize yourself being so happy on the plane over there. Visualizing, I'm so happy to be going on this trip. I'm so happy. And if you're a scripter, you can script out, like, oh, I left today, and, I left at 6 a.m. this morning to get to the airport, and I'm so happy, and blah, 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 whatever it is that whatever technique you like, you can manifest the feeling. And so it feels like these 2 cards are kind of mucking up the works for you. And this could go for anything, any manifestation. If you feel like you are losing interest in your manifestation, if you want to lose interest in your manifestation, that's fine. That's fine. That's your decision. But if you feel like this kind of hollowness and you don't necessarily think you are really, whatever, if you don't really want to not want it, you just don't, you can manifest the feeling of being happy. And you can manifest this. You can manifest this happiness from this. That's why these two are, you remember I was saying I'm surprised that these didn't end up like this. That's why, because these 2 have to be right together. These 2 have to be right together instead of sitting around being grumpy and just, not grumpy, but just ennui-ist. I know that's not a word, sorry. Just being completely can't be bothered, no matter what this cup is holding. She can't be bothered to be interested in it. As opposed to these mermaids, they are so happy and loving every single moment of their life and rejoicing in everything they're experiencing. So which one do you want to be? Which one looks like more fun? Which one looks like more fun? Which one do you want to be? And which one do you think is going to, you know, help you to manifest more in the future, basically? So that's your message. I mean, that's your main message. Oh, of course. You're being asked to fall in love again with your manifestations. You're being asked to go within and fall in love once again with your manifestations. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is a decision. Happiness is everything that you want it to be because you want it. Happiness is everything that you want, and what you want is what you want because you want it, if that makes sense. You can decide to want something, you can decide not to want something. This is a fascinating reading. It feels like you don't need to, you pile number 2, don't even need to worry about whether you're going to get your manifestation. You're just going to have to worry about if you need to worry is once it's there, it's like, you just need to worry about enjoying it, enjoying your manifestation, enjoying your state of the wish fulfilled, enjoying your embodiment of your perfect, person that you've always wanted to be. It's such a fascinating reading. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this with me. I love it when you like, share, comment, and subscribe. So always, I love every comment, and I am so happy and grateful for every like and subscription and every time you share my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. I just have to share something quickly with you from the guidebook about this spirit bear of 396 hertz. I'm not too familiar with any of that, but listen to this. You are being healed from guilt and fear. Such emotions will no longer steal your personal power or dissuade you from confidence, happiness, and realizing your own worth. No matter how unlikely it may seem, you are going to emerge from a spiritual winter into light and life. Very interesting, because we've been asking what messages the north wind is blowing into us, for us. So you chose this card number 15, Spirit Bear. And there was a strong, I just have to say, there was a strong feeling of hibernation. And actually, a bear doesn't, I learned this a couple days ago, a bear doesn't hibernate, it goes into a state of torpor, but doesn't truly hibernate. Anyway, so I was talking about bears and hibernating and not hibernating in pile number 1, and then you have the spirit bear. So if you had any interest in pile number 1, maybe you might want to check it out. I'm not sure, but let's wake up these cards. I'm going to take a couple from this deck. Oh wow, this one spun around. All right, so we're going to take one from this set. Whoa. Whoa. Here we go. What is this one? Teapot. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. I love that teapot. Let's see, this is an astral house card. Career. Something's going on in your life, pile number 3. Funnel. Period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I'm not sure that a funnel to me, you know, sometimes these sayings don't lead me the way that I like to think about. Like a funnel to me is very positive and concentrating and, you know, helpful and useful. So interesting that we are, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is I like to interpret the picture and the word and not necessarily this saying. So I have 3 tarot decks. This is the first one. Let's wake it up. We need some messages for pile number 3 from the North Wind. We need some messages. Wow, we got 2 cards from the bottom of the deck. All right, we have this deck next. Let's wake it up. And then this one. And let's see, from this one. Whoa, whoa. Oh, I got 2. All right, one more message from the North Wind. What do we have here that the North Wind is bringing us? The 10 of Wands. Look at how exhausted this one looks, especially. All of them. These are like, they're not roaring, they're just kind of, this one is the only one that seems to be putting a lot of effort in. They're just kind of very tired, and look at, they have hands on each other's heads. What an interesting card. They seem to be both putting effort in and not putting effort in, funnily enough. All right, the devil card. Wow, look at this illustration. That little mouse turned into a demon. Then we have this little flashlight. Or a torch, depending on where you live. All right, this is your 3rd card from this deck, the Queen of Swords. All right, this is the Judgment card. We have the Hanged Woman. We have the Lover's card. He's got playing cards in his torso, and she's got these figures in her skirt. They always make me feel like, they always make me think of chess pieces. We have the Page of Cups. We have the 7 of Cups. And we have the Knight of Wands. Very, very interesting. The first thing that's totally catching my attention here is this Lover's card and the Seven of Cups. The Lover's card can sometimes mean love. It can also mean choice. So we have this Lover's card and the Cups. We have the Lover's card and the Seven of Cups, which means both of them together, like, you know, there's a couple cards that mean choice and whatever, but these two are very, now that I have the Seven of Cups, it feels like this Lover's card is much more strongly looking at a choice, like a binary choice, either or. Although the Seven of Cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck has 7 cups with each with its own discrete choice. So very interesting. And another very not strong but obvious interpretation of these two cards together is that there's some relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but there's some relationship in your life that's very close and not working out. Like the two of you are very intertwined, yet things are not feeling right between the both of you. And like one of you is playing cards and one of you is playing chess, and neither of you want to join the other, or one of you is the mouse and the other is the monster, or one of you is looking at the other as sometimes a mouse and sometimes a monster. That's a really very deep sort of reading, which is, you know, obviously if you're consciously manifesting and you want to renew somebody's relationship to you, you know, you want to renew the relationship between you, you have to let go of everything that came before that doesn't match up with your new vision of them. Everything. So you could be this flashlight or this observer, you know, the flashlight's coming in at a different angle. You're the observer. You're observing this mouse. And you're seeing it as both the new version of the mouse and the old version. You used to see the mouse itself as this monster, but now you can see the mouse as the mouse. But you're still in the background seeing a monster shadow. So that seems like what's happening is that with somebody close to you, you're seeing them, it's way better than just seeing them as the monster, right? You used to see them as this monster figure, but now you're like, oh, I can see the little cute mouse, but I can also see the monster. Oops. I gotta concentrate on just seeing the mouse and let go of the monster shadow. The monster shadow will then stop following that mouse. The mouse acts like a monster sometimes only because you see it as acting like a monster. If there's someone you argue with at work, let's say this is a work colleague, and sometimes you see them as the mouse and sometimes you see them as this monster shadow, they're going to show up as the mouse when you see them as the mouse, and they're going to grow up, grow up. They're going to show up as the monster when you see him as the monster. You also got a lot of major arcana, just like pile number 2. You got the Devil, Judgment, Hanged Woman, Lovers. And you also got very interesting cards. You have a lot of court cards. You only have 2 numbered cards. So the 10 of Wands. There's something that's made you extremely weary and just overburdened. And you might be working with other people, and all of you are feeling like that, because look, this is just right next to the career. So you might be working in an office where a ton of you have just been working on this project, or maybe there haven't been enough people hired in a long time, and you're just all working. And all of you are exhausted. So there really could be a negative connotation to this funnel, whereas you're all trying to cram all this work down this funnel, and it's just like, this is all the work, and this is just you, and you're trying to cram all this work down into this little you funnel, and it just is not working. It's just not working because you are so, you just can't do it. I was gonna like do this whole thing, but the point is, you just can't do it. Is there something that you need to change? Is there some expectation about yourself that you need to change? Because what are your pile number 3, what do you see a career as? Not your career. What do you see a job as? Do you see it as just a bunch of stress and trouble and lots of work for no money? Because it seems like you're getting that, and it looks like it really is. It seems like you're getting this, and it looks like it's in your career. For a lot of you, this 10 of Wands is your career. And there's something in your life, as I said, most of you it's for the career, you're seeing it as a struggle and just a lot of effort for little gain, and you just cannot get over that conception of it, and so it just keeps on being like that. What is it? What is it that you can change about your vision of your career? What would your perfect, instead of seeing it as that, instead of giving your attention to this job that's, if it is a job, of this thing, we're going to stay with the job because it's very obvious that, you know, some of you, a lot of you, it is the job. What do you, instead of concentrating every day like, oh, kind of like this, concentrating on the shadow figure, oh, you know, concentrating on that shadow of what is, what do you want out of work? You're this hanged woman in this instance. There's something in your life, for many of you this is a career, it could be also be your relationship, because this hanged woman is has the career thing right next to it, and has lovers right next to it. It could be a relationship. Both of them have the devil right next to them, career and love. So you could be, it could be for some of you career, could be so for some of you love, could be for some of you both. You're this hanged woman that is continuing to think of this aspect or these aspects of your life as the way they are. That you can only get money by just working your fingers to the bone and never really getting ahead, and, you know, etc., etc. What is it about this thing that you would love? throwing away every single thing, letting, we ask the north wind to bring us messages, right? Let the north wind blow away every single shred of thought about your current circumstance in this aspect of your life. You can be the Queen of Swords and just cut off those thoughts and let only the thoughts about your ideal career or relationship or whatever it is be in your head. Your ideal career. What would be your ideal career? Do you just want to move to an office where you love your work, your coworkers, and you love your boss, and you love the environment, and that's all that would make you happy? That's great. If you're like, I don't want to change, I want them to change, just if you want to see your coworkers as fabulous, and if you want to see your boss as fabulous, if you want to see the whole company as fabulous, if you want to see you moving into a new office, or it could be anything, or if you feel like, I'm an actuary and I want to be I want to own a bakery where I make French bread every day. If you want to, saying if you want to have a wildly different career, hold that in your head. And this is the thing. It doesn't mean ignoring and not dealing with what you need to deal with in the 3D. You still can go to work. You still can solve problems there. You still can put in an effort. But when you're affirming, if you're an affirmer, when you're affirming, if you're a visualizer, when you're visualizing, if you're a scripter, when you're scripting about the new reality that you want to create. But as Neville says, you have to keep the mood. Even when you're not doing your techniques, he loved to visualize. And he visualized what he wanted, but then he would keep the mood, the inner reality of what he wanted with him all day, even when he was going around dealing with whatever he needed to deal with. And you can think of it as, this is the bones of your old job. This is the old you that this is the old you, and this is your old job. Like, let's say you're working in an office and you would like to just move to a new office, move to a new job, doing the same thing, but moving to a new company. These bones are the old you that got the job at the company that you don't want to work at anymore. You, if you get into this new mood of the new wish fulfilled, this is the new you. And you're still, you're there, you've transcended the old you, but you're still going to have to walk a certain number of steps before your 3D changes. You can think of it as walking a certain number of steps, like working a certain number of days. We don't know how long, or whatever happens, you have to let the 3D catch up to the new you. Everything is not going to change. This is a desert. Looks like a desert. And she wants to live in a jungle. This is not going to change right away. It could change quickly, or she could walk to the jungle, but no matter what, she's going to have to deal with the 3D the way it is for a certain amount of time. But the whole point of this is thinking from the state of the wish fulfilled, seeing the mouse, which is the new job or whatever, instead of the monster. Right now, you might be seeing both, or you might be seeing just the monster. You might be just seeing this, or you might be seeing both. But we want to see just this. We just want to see this cute little mouse with the cute little mouse shadow. And that's it. No matter what is there, we're just going to concentrate on the mouse. For some of you, it might be both, a career and a relationship. There's nothing that says you have to manifest everything at once. You could concentrate on one. You also have, so this choice, you have some rapid movement here. You have a lot of like forward movement. And you have this choice, and you have this teapot. You know, it says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. That's great. But a teapot, to me, right now, a teapot is like, it's on the boil, and it's like screaming and just like, do something right now. It's a lot of pressure. Pressure gets built up, of course, in the teapot, just like in the funnel. It's like, you know, it's like just trying to cram everything into this tiny little thing. A teapot boils, there's a lot of pressure in it. It boils. It's demanding action from you. A teapot, this is an ornamental teapot, of course, but a teapot is boiling, and it's, you know, the ones that you put on the kettle that you put on the stove. It boils, and it makes a noise, and you have to do something right then. This Knight of Wands is the fastest knight in the deck, and it's like going forward movement. Look at this pig, all 4 feet are off the ground. It's forward movement, not having to, but like that forward movement right now. This Page of Cups is a lot of heart on the sleeve, emotion, and just like a lot of emotion, a lot of, I might say like urgency, you know, like urgency in emotional, in this emotional thing that's happening. There's a lot of urgency. There's a lot of wanting things to be different, kind of. There's a lot of like wanting things to be different, things happening right now, demanding attention. And I'm wondering, for some of you, it might feel like you really want, you're exhausted. We're going to keep with the job thing. You're exhausted in your job. You just cannot do you feel like you just cannot do another day's work. And you want things to happen right now. Well, pile number 3. It seems like the only card we have left here is the Queen of Swords. And there's a lot of urgency, but the Queen of Swords is cutting through all of the unnecessary things and coming to a conclusion that is true and right. What pile number 3 do you really want? What pile number 3 is really the best for you? Is it quitting the job? You're going to be able to tell that more than me. Is it doing something drastic. I'm unable to tell you what you should be doing. And I'm just very concerned with all of these. I just, as an aside, I'm very concerned with all of these tarot characters holding swords by their blades. I don't approve of that, just in general. But the but the point is, pile number 3, you have this thing or these things, a career, a relationship, both, maybe even something else, that you feel a desperation and a pressure behind, that you're just stuck, and it's like, oh, I really just want something to happen. Like in that space where I want something bad, even if it's something bad, I want something to happen. Even if it's something terrible, I'd rather have something terrible happen than to have nothing happen. But this Queen of Swords is saying that you, pile number 3, can like kind of take a step away from that desperation, that desperate circumstance kind of feeling, and make a wise choice for you. If it's something truly terrible, if you're in a truly terrible situation, then yeah, choosing to leave is always fine. We don't have to put up with terrible behavior or terrible circumstances in the 3D. If we're conscious manifestors and we're thinking, oh, I'm whatever, you know, I'm just gonna sit here in this toxic workplace and consciously manifest. You don't have to. If it's a toxic workplace, or if you're in a toxic relationship or some terrible circumstance, it's not like you can't leave that terrible circumstance. But what I'm saying is, if it's just kind of not boredom seems too, like, boredom seems to trivialize it too much. But if it's not, you're gonna have to decide. Excuse me, I had to cough. You're gonna have to decide, being the Queen of Swords for your own life, you're going to have to decide which way this blade is going to cut. Is it going to cut toward continuing on in the situation and just concentrating on what you do want instead of what you don't want? Or is it truly that you have to make a change in the 3D? There's nothing that says you can't make a change in the 3D if you need it for yourself, for your own welfare. But if you're just like concentrating on the bad, what you don't want, and saying, I need to make a change just for change's sake, the change you should be making is instead concentrating on the good. That's the change you should be making if it's truly just, if it's not some sort of toxic thing or something that you just literally can't stand to do, you know. And anyway, that choice is always yours. So the Queen of Swords is telling you that you, pile number 3, can make that choice and just step away, step back from the pressure that you're feeling, step back from the like sense of being stuck, step back from the sense of being overwhelmed, and take a look at your situation and make the choice that's best for you in the 3D, and as a conscious manifester. And I just want to say, for those of you who don't have, for those of you that are maybe feeling good in your, like, maybe if you have something going on in your career, but you're feeling good in your relationship, for those of you, pile number 3, there's like some sort of really good spark of love in your relationship. For you, there's this Lover's card and this Page of Cups. And it's really a wonderful combination where your special person is showing up for you just the way you want them to, with their heart on their sleeve and their just emotions overflowing. And that's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And in this case, the Hanged Woman is like, hey, I'm hanging out here in this in this lovely place. There's nothing wrong with hanging out in the lovely place that you have created. So, yes, pile number 3, there is a lot of being stuck. It's like being in a snowstorm. If you've ever been stuck inside after a big snowstorm where no one can get anywhere and nothing's going on, and it's like a forced hibernation. Talking about hibernation, or not really hibernation. This bear, the non-hibernating bear, the only torpor, the bear that only goes into a state of torpor, not a hibernation. You can kind of channel that and step away. Maybe you have to get away for a day, just yourself, and become this, you know, the clarity of stopping and stepping back and truly understanding yourself. Pile number 3, this has been a very intense reading. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for any time that you like my videos, share them, comment, leave me a comment. I love reading your comments. Subscribe. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, and I will see you very soon, I'm sure. Bye for now.